Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan with the Chart Guys, trader and technical analyst. We've got a wild day out there today. Tons of euphoria continuing to hit the markets. We've got some news affecting Coinbase and other crypto stocks. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about whether it's time to be taking profits. We know in euphoria, it's generally a good time to think about doing so. I'll show you the criteria and the time frames that are most important in your decision making. So new 52-week highs in the S&P 500 and in the NASDAQ. Again, the bulls have full control. We've got our benchmark levels with every daily high or low. It becomes the new most important support level for us to be watching. And we're keeping strong hourly uptrend. We can see the hourly EMA 12 has been holding for the last 2 days. So keep it simple. Absolutely nothing changes and the bulls keep their complete control as long as that holds. When we lose it, we will zoom out and we'll look for a 4-hour high or low. At this point in time, the NASDAQ is some of the most extended that you will ever see it on the 4-hour and the hourly time frame. The 4-hour RSI got into the upper 80s today, while the hourly RSI got into the low 90s. And if you look back historically, what happens to the NASDAQ when the hourly RSI gets above, or the 4-hour RSI gets above 80? It doesn't stay there very long. At least that's been the case for the last couple of years. That being said, I would not have expected and did not expect the bulls to keep complete control today without cooling that RSI off at all. And we can see we're at, some historical high levels. The 2001 all-time high is the last time we had anything comparable to where we stand right now. So we're definitely a bit overextended, which begs the question, is it time to be taking profit? And taking profit is very different than going short. Again, anybody looking short right now is trying to nail the top. And that's fine if that strategy works for you, but it doesn't work for the majority of people. And unless you're a professional trader that has a track record showing that you're great at nailing tops, counter momentum, you're not trying to nail this top. You will see signs that the bears are taking over in any meaningful way if that is going to take place. We'll see all major sectors dropping together. We'll see increasing bear volume. We'll see a loss of the daily uptrend for the first time in 2 months. If those things are not happening, we're not putting in a top. That said, I expect a temporary top and 4-hour consolidation very soon. Not only that, the dollar, which we'll look at in just a moment, is absolutely smashed and some of the most oversold that you will see it on some of these midterm time frames. So NASDAQ extended, but we're going to look for a pullback and a 4-hour higher low to be the result of that pullback. The rebalancing is still in the air, just in the sense that tomorrow we're expecting to get more information about that rebalancing. And we're still seeing some relative weakness out there. I mean, look at Apple today. And Apple was just a daily inside bar while the NASDAQ kept ripping higher. So the bears, we could say the Apple bears are positioned well to set a new daily lower high if, and only if, the NASDAQ sees some kind of weakness. The NASDAQ strength is masking the relative weakness. Because you say, oh, well, Apple was green today as well. Yes, but much weaker. If you look at Apple divided by QQQ, you can see that it's the weakest it's been in a long time. And it's testing the weakest it's been in 2 months. So the relative weakness is glaring, but you don't notice it. It's masked by the strength in the NASDAQ. And you look at some of these other names, Tesla divided by QQQ, not quite as bad today, I don't believe. Yeah, a little bit at the end of the day, recovery. But I'm keeping an eye out where if the NASDAQ sees just healthy consolidation, I'm looking for Apple to set that daily lower high. All that said, the rest of these names, I mean, Meta, extremely strong, certainly due for some daily consolidation, but Amazon on Prime Day news, up to higher highs, weekly bull flag confirming. Google, which has been our weakest tech name, setting a weekly higher low and playing laggard catch-up in a big way. So overall, a lot of strength still out there. So we're going to talk about taking profits, but going to talk about that at the end of this video. More specifically, let's just go through the rundown first. Semiconductors, tightening daily range broke bull, and we have a new all-time high, which means the bulls keep their complete control. NVDA surging higher as well. And a bit bummed to have gotten stopped out of my bull trade attempt yesterday because it would have seen very nice follow through today. But again, just the daily uptrend guide. Higher low at 401, higher low 413, 416, Now, anything above 416 will be a higher low next consolidation. We're going to be watching for the hourly back burner. And again, just completely turn off your brain if your brain says market cap, PE ratio, and things like that. It does not matter. We're in automated trading world. AI bots are trading out there, and this is everything to do with supply and demand, with shorts being squeezed out of this market, and just disassociate from that. Because NVDA, can it go to $700? Sure, why not? That's my mindset trading these things. So just let price action be your guide. And it's interesting that with this strength of NVDA at all-time highs, that the other AI names are still weak. Look at AI, daily inside bar and closing at the low. So the bears in AI are positioned well. If the NASDAQ sees any weakness, AI will be setting its 2-day lower high that we've been keeping an eye out for. PLTR broke weekly resistance today, but again, not a strong day. So interesting, and there's one of two things that are going to happen. When NVDA consolidates, these names are going to drop with it, or we're going to see rotation. And that's something I'm watching for as well. Does NVDA topping out mean that these smaller AI names see some rotation back into them? Maybe. But it's clear that the growth names that haven't been running for the last 6 months are getting a lot more attention this week than these AI plays. So I hope AI gives me a 2-day lower high. I have no position. I like tightening ranges. So I want a 2-day lower high, then a higher low, and then towards the end of July, we'll look for a break of this tightening range. Healthcare, still a potential daily bear flag. Non-event today, just a daily inside bar. And today was just the QQQ and growth show because XLF and XLV, both daily inside bars, not doing much. XLF major earnings start tomorrow and go into the start of next week. And so that's going to either dictate daily consolidation or further breakout. And again, just non-event. Today was all NASDAQ and growth. IWM, so higher high, and that's showing the growth benefiting. Again, tons of space for the daily higher low. If you want entries, you are not chasing the market at this standpoint. I can't look long anything from a swing trading perspective personally that is correlated with the NASDAQ until the NASDAQ sees 4-hour consolidation at a minimum. And so for IWM, just patiently wait. Hourly oversold conditions, scouting a daily higher low next consolidation. We know it'll happen eventually. So again, we want the better risk and reward to be entering long on consolidation versus trying to enter long after bulls have had control all week. So we had news that I talked about in the crypto live stream where XRP was essentially, they said, nah, not really a security. And so that led to Coin, which has been in trouble with the SEC for listing all these altcoins. It's a positive ruling in favor for them. And we have a short squeeze on in a big way. Just a massive move from the low of the day, 20% plus on huge volume. And this was a lesson for me because I was shorting Coin today and no regrets about that because it was a lead bear on the morning. It had more relative weakness than any name on my screen. And I was taking some profit and I had a partial position left and I went out to the garden and turned on my greenhouse fan and I knew I would only be outside for 5 or 10 minutes, but I didn't place a stop. And that was probably right here. And so said, well, I'm only gonna be gone for 5 minutes. I don't need to stop. I'm comfortably in this trade, and came back and was fortunate enough to say, okay, what's going on? What's with the news? Exited my short, once we broke 85.94 and could see something was up. And then I went long, and it just reminded me, you could have screwed up in a huge way if, timing was just a little bit different. You could have had a multiple day loser because you didn't set a stop and just went right outside. So a little bit of a wake up call, don't get sloppy. Got to run a tight ship with your stop losses. One thing to note is I didn't make nearly as much money on Coin today as I should have. And this is all about pre-planning. So pre-planning headlines and news events is important. So for me, I know when we get news, if we get news that cannabis is rescheduled, I am very aggressively market buying significant positions. I've already laid out the plan. If this happens, then I do this. I did not have a plan for XRP lawsuit news and what I would do with Coin. And so that led to me, reacting to things, but not in the way that I would have or should have if I were more prepared. So if I were more prepared and connected the dots and said, if XRP were to give us a bullish headline in this environment, that would be extremely bullish for coin. And if that had happened, then I would have used, 5 times the position size that I used going long. And so that was a little bit of a lesson for me as well. Although, I haven't really been following along with the XRP lawsuit, but just be aware for anything that you're trading or any sectors that you're trading, have some of those news potentials laid out. If you're interested in uranium and there's, a uranium plant disaster in Ukraine, short everything uranium. I know that's a headline I would act on. So the more of those headlines that we can lay out in advance as far as obvious things, if anything were to happen to Musk, God forbid, short Tesla. These are known things that we can lay out in advance so that when they happen, we're not, a deer in the headlights. We can act on them with some size. Other crypto stocks just absolutely continuing to surge. MARA, no daily consolidation, benefiting from this news. And again, now at this point, we're up almost 100% in the last month of trading. Riot continues to lead the way. Riot is up 50% in the last 5 trading days almost. So just absolute full bull control. Again, not chasing. If you're looking to enter hourly higher lows, that's one thing. But can't enter any swing positions up at these levels. ARKK for growth names continues to break out. So monthly inverse head and shoulders confirming. Next resistance, 53.86. Let's check on some of these other names. Hood following through. Daily stair step pattern. What else we got? CVNA was it? I haven't been trading this name. So we did see a temporary top there. Bulls tried to buy the dip a bit. Not too shabby. But at this point on growth names, I'm keeping an eye out. Again, for laggards, I'm watching PENN for a weekly falling wedge. So PENN is a name that has not benefited from stock market strength this year. And it is a potential weekly falling wedge to be watching, trying to break out here and now. Earnings are in a couple weeks, but its peer DKNG is already 180% off of its lows. So Penn is trying to play laggard catch-up. DIS, another name that has not participated at all in this stock market rally this year. Potentially a falling wedge. So again, keeping an eye on these laggards because the laggard game has been working. I was maybe a week or two early on growth and IWM when I was started to talk about looking for the rotation into those names, and it took a little while to play out. We now have the rotation into Chinese names. That's playing out. So again, I keep repeating myself. I know I'm a broken record, but as long as the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are in daily uptrends and strong, scout laggards in this market. So BABA, the weekly trend change is much more convincing now. We're looking up at 99.17 resistance from here. YINN, the 3 times leveraged ETF, 43.25, 43.32 is a little double top that has to break. Definitely a bit extended in the short term, but benefiting from the euphoria in the market. The dollar, you're not going to find a 4-hour RSI more beat up than this in the dollar. We're approaching single digits. I would be shocked if this does not get a bounce going overnight into tomorrow. Even if it's just a sideways bounce that cools off RSI, this is extreme. Daily RSI getting extreme as well. Bears loving the follow through. This is why we kept talking about watch this, watch this, watch this, because it is now broken and the metals are responding in a big way. Gold following through from yesterday. Silver following through much more significantly. It's clearly the lead bull. We talked about the XAU USD divided by XAG USD chart yesterday in the video and talked about the 3-week time frame, and we are breaking it just like that. Well, no, I take that back. Not yet. 3-week lower high is set and heading to that support. So silver's leading the way, which is what the bulls want to see. Miners didn't really do a whole lot today. Clearly, silver is leading the way. And we're going to look for daily higher lows next consolidation. We're going to look for dollar lower high on the daily next bounce. And again, this is the spark for commodities to try and be bullish the second half of the year, as long as the dollar stays weak. We need to keep an eye out for a dollar 4-month higher low, but there's obviously no sign of that. So with this, we've got the oil bulls following through. Daily stair step, higher low every single day on oil for the last 10 days in a row. That's very impressive. Next resistance is up at 78.62. Natural gas is not benefiting from dollar weakness. Daily lower high set, testing the lows of consolidation. If we get further follow through on this daily downtrend, it's going to make the weekly bull flag less likely, but the daily downtrend will remain our guide from here. Uranium, remember CCJ and the monthly equilibrium that we were tracking forever? It broke bull. Now we have the weekly bull flag trying to confirm back test and hold of EMA 12, perfection. And if we get over 33, which was tested today by less than 1%, if we get over 33, it's the highest level we've seen in over a decade. Uranium benefiting from a weak dollar as well. So bull euphoria everywhere. And that generally means look to take some profit and look to be cautious. So what goes into the decision-making process of looking to take profit? The time frame of the trade that you're looking to take or that you're in is the most important factor. For example, if I'm in MARA from today, let's just say, I made an entry today at, this is hypothetical, I didn't do it, but let's just say I got in at 1830 and we, comfortable, close strong. All right, I'm going to swing it. I'm going to take profit way sooner on that position than I would on my next example because I don't have a ton of profit cushion to work with, and I know that the inevitable daily consolidation that will happen could easily put me in the red. And so I want to ensure that I take profit before daily consolidation. Now, what about my ARKK swing position? I'm completely in control with no risk at this point. But I know that the trade setup that I took was based on the weekly and the monthly longer term time frames. So if I want this to play out long term, let's go to the 4-month time frame. In an ideal world, this move goes to 70 plus. Even then, it's a weak bounce. I mean, this could be a 4-month bear flag all the way to $80, $78. So I want to let it run. And I know that I'm going to have to sit through periods of significant consolidation if I'm going to let that happen. But I'm at least willing to let daily consolidation happen. My position size is knowing that daily consolidation is inevitable. And so we can easily pull back, even up to 8% during daily consolidation. And I've already made the decision that I will sit through that to try and let the monthly trade take place. Now, if I had made a long entry yesterday, I would not sit through daily consolidation because, again, daily consolidation could then easily put me in the red. So the time frame that the trade you are taking, and you can always do partial. Again, the one thing that I'm noticing with newer traders that's this common theme is they've got it in their mind it's all or nothing. You're either in the trade or you're not. And I just cannot stress enough, partial positions. Things are extreme, you're feeling euphoria, sell a third. And then have the positive mindset. You can sell a third and then have the mindset of, if it keeps going up, darn, I shouldn't have sold, what an idiot. Or if it goes down, darn, I should have sold more, what an idiot. And that's an extremely negative place to be in, and you have to train your mind not to do that. Because you can just do the opposite. I sell a third, it keeps going up, great. I've got 2/3 of the position, I'm still making money. I sell a third and it goes down, great. I took some profit and I can reload it during consolidation. And the impact that will have on your psyche and probably your physical well-being as well is huge. And this goes for everything in life, not just trading. You choose your mindset. You choose to be looking at the bright side or the downside of things. And it has a profound impact on your entire life and everybody that's in your life. Guess we'll end it on that life note. Things are exciting. Dollar is due for a 4-hour oversold bounce. NASDAQ is due for 4-hour consolidation, but we're just going to look for the trends to continue. Unless we get any major red flags, we'll see what the financial sector earnings bring. I'm very curious to see how the NASDAQ trades in relation because the inverse, again, if you just watch every day, if you watch the NASDAQ and the financial sector, the rotation that's going on is just perfection. It's like it's designed this way. And we will see when rotation stops. We will see when money leaves the market. And it will be all of our major sectors dropping together. When's the last time that happened? I don't remember. It's been a very long time because the rotation game is strong. This move can keep going. Again, taking profits is different than trying to nail the top. Do good things.
Wine berries, blackberries, cucumbers.